Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This time we talk about another sort of miracle. We should say miracle. We shouldn't say it's a magic because those practitioners say that it is well based and is totally possible to implement it to the satisfaction of the people who use it. And the name of it is they call it to rise inquiry. Rise inquiry. Rise inquiries is interesting, right? Interesting. And whenever we are separated by whatever reason from our relative, from our lovers, from all other people whom we miss so much. So when people die or when people leave, there's always a psychological depression suffered by the person who live alone here, and he or she missed the person so much so that he would like to have continuous contact with the person who left. So there's a kind of technique they call it rise inquiry, saying that through the mediates of the practitioner, with the assistance of the rise, then you can communicate with the person whom left the world, and then through the practitioner and the rise, then that person will come back to the real world and then to communicate with you. Normally, the format is to have dialogue with you. It seldom let you see the figures, or seldom let you touch the figures, but it only let you listen to the figures, talk to the figures. Right? So when people they die, then normally when they start the technique, then you sit here, and you wait for a while, and the practitioner, after some type of message, secret message, in front of the rise, then that person who leave the world will come into the real world through the practitioners. So you talk to the practitioner. At that time, she's not the practitioner, she's your relatives. So you talk to the relatives, asking some personal question with an answer. So you will feel good sometimes, because you can ask whether the relative can still make a good living in another world, not in this world, another world. If there's any defects on that, anything that you can do to improve his living or her living in another world, and it's just the thinking of that. And after some conversation, then you do something and you comfort yourself as well, because you miss her, you miss him, and you do something good for him or her, and then you will have improved their living in another world. It is another type of super studious technique. It can't be proved by any science. It can't be explained by any scientific means. But it only happens when you believe it and you're willing to get in touch with it. It is less harmful, to be honest. It is less harmful than the former four means, because it is aimed not to harm other person, but to comfort your own psychology and do something for those person whom you miss very much. So this sort of thing is neutral in sense, and however, whether you like to make use of these services, it's up to you. It's up to you, because sometimes if you believe it, then you can help you, at least psychologically, to make yourself comfortable. And if there's really anything that you have done and have made a good impact on the person whom we miss, then it will be constructive in some way. So do consider by yourself, and this is not advice here to conduct this sort of service, but only let you know the principle and the technique behind this sort of services for your information and for your interest. Okay, so let's move on to the next means in the coming chapters, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.